What are we making this morning?
My hash browns.
It's a predictable morning for Lindrick Holmes, or at least as predictable as possible, with a 7-year-old, a 17-month-old, and a 7-month-old in the house. But when you have sickle cell, predictability is priceless.
I took like Kenya to Six Flags. I probably would have went into a sickle cell crisis along the way. So all the money I spent on hotels and tickets would have just been to waste, because I would have been stuck in a hospital.
I loved him after our first date.
Just 3 weeks after they met, Dominique Holmes was visiting her new boyfriend in a hospital and learning how a sickle cell crisis can test relationships.
It was really scary for me to experience firsthand, just seeing how much pain he was in.
A sickle cell crisis happens when an abnormal protein in red blood cells makes them sickle-shaped, clogging blood vessels, starving organs of oxygen, and creating intense pain. They can damage organs and bone, and its complications can even lead to death.
Seeing the fight within him, how strong he was able to fight for himself, let me know that he would be able to fight that strong for us as well and for our family.
The fact that she stood through it all and she saw me at my worst, at my very worst, and she still loved me with her best. It made her, wifey.
Holmes needed that support and his fighting spirit when he was chosen for a clinical trial at the National Institutes of Health in Washington. Their gene therapy approach starts with removing a patient's stem cells.
We collect those stem cells and we send them to a lab. And the lab then uses a virus to do what's called a transduction process. That's where we actually put a new gene inside those stem cells.
Dr. Julie Cantor runs the adult sickle cell clinic at UAB. And while she did not treat Lindrick, she was part of the NIH team working on the trial.
We bring that individual back into the hospital and give them chemotherapy. That chemotherapy clears out the bone marrow. It makes space for the new cells that we're going to give them.
That chemotherapy is also grueling.
At the worst, I think I was just anticipating death, just letting go.
But Lindrick fought through the treatment as his body recovered.
In the meantime, those new stem cells swim like salmon back into the bone marrow where they're supposed to go, and they start to grow and develop. And then they make healthy bone marrow that does not have sickle cell disease.
By the time he was released in March, Lindrick had missed the birth of his youngest child and the first steps of another. But finally witnessing her steps for himself made for an even happier homecoming.
Now he has the opportunity to actually live for the first time in his life.
Now I have to rebuild myself and figure out what am I actually capable of, because I never got that opportunity to figure out who I am and what I can really do.
Meanwhile, Dr. Cantor has brought the trial to UAB and has already enrolled 2 patients.
I just wish I had more spots. I'm incredibly excited about this therapy.
The Holmes family is also excited, planning a future that no longer gets blindsided by a blood disease.
And there's only 2 ways I'm gonna die, through circumstances or through time. Either time gonna get me or maybe a circumstance, but I ain't gotta worry about sickle cell getting me.